Footy highlights for Vic Super. Get super active with Vic Super.
From the Carlton goal, Petreski's seat just threw it onto the boot. Bacon, goal square, it's there! Out of absolutely nothing!
And Hooker has a free kick 20 out straight in front.
It's a gift, that's what that is.
Bombers kind of need it, and they get it. Hooker puts it right through the middle. He gives to Murphy, near the boundary. Tries That is a contender. That is a contender for goal of the year in round 3. Blues can sense blood in the water. There's a lot of water, believe me.
And Kyle Langford, 25 out, can get it back to a 1-point deficit. Comes in from 25 metres. He's goaled. Three-quarter time at the MCG. Carlton 5:14:44, Essendon 6:4:40. And at any time, the Tyre Power Twitter at 3RW is football. You can send your thoughts in. And from Tyre Power, have a safe Easter holiday. You can drop into Tyre Power for a safety check before you get away. It is a 4-point margin to the Blues here at three-quarter time. St Kilda by 31 points earlier in the day. As I go to you, Shane McGuinness, how are things up at the Gold Coast?
4 points here as well, Tone, in favour of the Gold Coast Suns. Jake Romero got the reception that you would expect here at his old stomping ground, but he's converted a goal. So the Hawks back to within 4 points. Gary Ablett, 9 possessions thus far this afternoon.
Want some stats, please, for the Southern Star Group at windowsanddoors.bill. What are you seeing, boys?
What I'm seeing is the two leaders for the Carlton Football Club trying to will their team across the line. That's Gibbs and Murphy. Gibbs 27-15 contested. Mark Murphy 24 and 2 goals, and for the Bombers it's Heppel and Watson, both with 24 apiece. The inside 50 is the big discrepancy though. Carlton have gone in 16 more times, just haven't been able to convert. 5 goals 14. They really do deserve to be 3 or 4 goals up here, Carlton.
Michael Warner, quick word before the bounce.
Wiedering, the only injury today, set out the 20 minutes for concussion. He's back out there.
And those entries, 46-30, it's 3-2 across the day, Carlton's way. But they've kicked fewer goals. From the first centre contest, Cruiser has it. He gets a kick almost to the 50. It slides off the hands of the pack. It's inside the 50 for Carlton. Looking for an early one. Thomas has got it. Scrambles a kick forward. Casbolt with the flight knocked it on. It falls out near the behind post. Murphy leads Heppel. He kicks off the ground in hope. It goes across the goal face. Penalise that, Mr. Umpire. No, he doesn't. He says throw it in, 25 around from the left behind post.
Mick, I know it's inconsequential, but is there any end favoured by the breeze?
Absolutely none, Tone.
Okay. It looks like fog is rolling in with this misty rain. That's what's like up here. It's probably a downpour down there. Carlton deep into attack, lead by 4 points. Leuenberger tries to flip it out of the back. Coming through Ed Curnow. Cripps dispossessed. Heppel won it. Kicked it away 45 metres. Danger over for the moment. As coming through, Zaharakis just knocked it to the Parish. Well, actually his name's Darcy Parish, not the Parish. As it comes towards Heppel, middle of the ground, a little chance here. Watson tries to knock it forward. Murphy, a little one off the deck to half forward. The ball goes. As Silvani tries to put Mitch Brown out of the way. Brown had it, lost it, picked up by Gibbs. Tumbler going forward, Carlton into attack, Wiedering a chance, ball knocked away, gave it to Ed Curnow, spun out of the pack, kicks it high, one-on-one battle there. Ambrose had it, went to ground, picked it up, gave to James Kelly. Kelly gives it to Zach Merritt, who can just short one, it's effective. Mitch Brown in defence for the Bombers had it. 4-point margin to the Blues, 44-40. Minute and a half gone, final quarter on the KFC scoreboard.
Last quarter starts as the previous one ended. Carlton doing the attacking, the Bombers defending for their lives. Kick doesn't reach the wing. Off hands, falls to Hooker. Now he clears the wing for the Bombers. No one able to mark. Doherty at ground level. McDonald, Tippengoody arrives. Tackled, brought down. Bomber fans wanted back. Carlton fans wanted ball. Neither satisfied with play on. Ball comes from a pack Carlton's way. Advantage called as umpire Fisher was paying it free. Doherty skids it into the 50. Kelly first man there though for the Bombers. Taken off the ball. Petrevski-Seaton for Carlton. Got it. Wheels onto the left and then missed kicks. Casbolt came crashing in. Might have been another head clash. I think there was. Essendon player down and in trouble. Rowe attacks the ball for Carlton coming off half-back.
It's Collier down.
Fumbles. He's got it. He shakes off Danaher. He kicks very high. Wiedering with his head bandage. Takes a very good mark with the wet ball for the Blues.
Still a 4-point margin, playing a couple of minutes, final quarter. Carlton move it to half forward. Through the hands that time then of Petreski-Seaton. Silvani lurking, trying to keep the ball in front of him. He does. He's tackled. He lost it as Essendon tried to get out of trouble. Gibbs had it, lost it. Curnow from 35, high into the night sky. It goes forward. Pocket. Thomas, the target, runs out of bounds. But once again, Carlton deep into attack around the ground. Shane McGuinness.
16-point lead to the Suns here. Aaron Hall with a second goal, 39 plays 23.
20 more inside 50s now for Carlton. They desperately need to get a goal. You get a couple of goals up here in these conditions, gee, they'll be hard to get back for the Bombers.
Now, blood rule, I think, causes a delay. Doherty coming off with a gash over the left eye. And Williamson comes on in his first game, and it's a drama-filled one. Tough and tight.
Love Plowman's game today. Cross half back for the Blues.
Left forward pocket for Carlton. Leuenberger and Cruiser. Socket Essendon's way by Merritt to the 50, and then it slides on to Danaher, who has to go crashing back into Carlton's attacking 50. Gets it to Goddard, who swings it high to the southern wing. Under it, White, backing back bravely, couldn't hang on. Zaharakis a hand pass forward for Essendon. Gibbs first there. His hand pass smothered. Picked up by Rowe. Tackled. Just got it onto his boot. Gibbs fights on, but McDonald Tipungwuti got his hands onto it. Lost it. Picked up by White. Supported by Cripps. Bomber fans wanted ball. They don't get it. Carlton emerged now through Simpson. In the clear. In driving rain. Kick beyond the wing. Good knock on for Carlton by Cruiser. A foot race. First there, Daisy Thomas. His socket kick smothered. Cruiser kept coming, but Kelly came the other way and got there first. Bangs it back to the wing. 1-on-1, Goddard and Simpson. Bombers now with numbers, but a fumble might let Carlton back in. Ball stuck on the wing. Zaharakis sockers forward and wide to the boundary, and there will be a throw in between wing and half forward for Essendon. Carlton still 4 points up. 5 minutes gone.
This is genuinely exciting, Cam.
This isn't it? Just tense, and I know it's bucketing down rain out there, but there's no better sight than the MCG late in the last quarter. It's fantastic.
Carlton 44, Essendon 40, neutral territory, southern side, KFC scoreboard, 5 gone, final quarter. Simpson back at the pack, gets a little tumbler going forward that time. Petreski-Seaton tackle without the ball. Little toe poke, middle of the ground. Bryce Gibbs or Heppel. Who gets there first? Heppel does. Then he's immediately tackled, brought to the ground, releases it. Watson there. Can he pick it up? No. McCready. Carlton kept it in front of him. Got a clean bounce and floats it high and long. Chance for Thomas. Worked his way to the front of the pack. Out the side. Here is a chance for the Blues. Right. Too slow to get rid of the ball, I thought. Bagley there. Drew the high contact. 35 out. Carlton into attack. Wiedering comes through. Can't get any purchase on it whatsoever. Danaher working in defence. Kicks it away 25 metres. Ball still at half forward for the Blues. Off the deck by Simon White. And is it going back a free kick clean at this time to the Blues?
Yeah, holding the man, Tone.
As White had kicked it forward. So he gets the free kick going to the city end between wing and half forward. KFC scoreboard 6 into the final quarter. Carlton 5-14-44. Essendon 6-4-40.
I was about to say they'd put the whistles away, Tone, as the ball's kicked a full forward. No one can mark. Spilling ball, important ball. Socket by McGrath, out on the full. He just got under it, and it wasn't far off the ground, but it carried about 25 metres. And it's a Carlton free kick to White. Again, just outside 50.
This would be plus.
There's a whistle inside the 50.
Blood rule, Tim.
Bagley, I think it is.
While we're waiting on the blood rule, Shane McGuinness round the grounds.
Suns doing all the attacking in this second term, Tone. They lead 6-3, 39 to Hawthorn, 3-5, 23.
So a delay as Bagley has a long run, and Merritt's coming with him. So there are going to be 2 changes made. Gleeson comes on, and Stanton's going to come on as well for the Bombers.
This after this inside 50 from Simon White, I've been banging on about it, but it'll be plus 23, and when you have that bigger advantage in inside 50s, you simply should win the game.
No score in 7 minutes of the quarter. White, long, almost top of the goal square. Off hands, Curnow, left foot snap, missed or did it?
No,
he got it. The Blues are celebrating. That is the biggest goal of the day. In fact, it's a pancake parlour goal of the day.
Lovely.
Carlton 6-14-50, Essendon 6-4-40. 7.5 minutes in on the KFC scoreboard.
Richo, you've been asking for it. You've been talking about that inside 50 dominance by Carlton. They simply had to find out a way to get a goal, and in the end it was just one of those ones where it's scrounging a goal, fell in the lap of Ed Curnow and threw it on the boot I reckon, Richo, every single goal in this last quarter is a pancake parlour goal of the day.
They're hard to come by today, Tone.
Yep, they certainly are. Exciting times here at the G. We'll be going for full coverage after half-time up at the Gold Coast. Tight times up there as well. Carlton by 10 points. KFC scoreboard. Goddard out of the middle to Heppel. That's a cleaner possession, but Doherty, we see him each week. He just seems to become a better player each week.
And he's a good kick.
And he kicks the ball. They've got two players out there. Petreski, Seaton gave a little handball. Oh, running past that time. Marchbank has it. Too slow to get rid of it, I thought. Umpire says toss it in. Neutral territory on the Northern All members' side at the moment. 6:14:50 KFC scoreboard. Carlton. Essendon 6:4:40. And Tim, we're almost at the 9-minute mark of the final quarter.
Essendon have not had any control of this game for the whole day. Carlton simply have to win. They deserve to win.
Cruiser does well here, only going to about 10 metres with a dribbler. Kelly, a dribbler back, but straight to Murphy, who doesn't dribble it. He thumps it to the 50 for Carlton. Off hands, Palmer for the Blues, kicks it forward, Pickett in the van. Got it onto his chest, it bounced or slipped off. Picked up by Brown for Essendon. He clears to Stanton at the 50. Hand pass to a running Gleeson. Long ball to a 2-on-1 for the Bombers. McCready did pretty well, made the spoil, but it's with Danaher for Essendon. A hand pass to Collier, a speedster running forward, a looper over the top finds Heppel, outside 50, inside 50, Zaharakis in driving rain, goes for goal and misses the lot.
Just hurried it too, could have had a set shot, thought he probably had more space there, and the Blues player, couldn't see who it was, just closed down that space enough to force the poor kick.
Yeah, 9.5 minutes gone. Ray White countdown clock. Carlton by 10 points.
It's hard to be critical of missing a target.
Oh, Marchbank's kicked, touched off the boot. Can they get out of trouble here? Ed Curnow got it very quickly. Williamson, the new boy for Carlton, tumbles to the middle of the ground. Hurley there, takes it cleanly. Handball over the back. Waiting there, that time then, and knocked off the ball was Bagley as it goes to half forward for Carlton.
They're out.
Handball, well, they're not quite out at the moment as Palmer tries to toe poke it off the deck. They're stopped at half back by Mitch Brown of Essendon. He just a careful little kick. Got it there to Goddard, tries to get around his man, kicks over his shoulder on the southern side, and Doherty yet again in the way to take the mark. Shane will be going to full coverage up at the Gold Coast. Can we just have a score halfway into the second quarter?
Game high, 22-point lead to the Suns. 7-3-45 Hawthorn, 3-5-23. Great intensity from the Gold Coast this afternoon.
Might be over by the time we get there. Bagley's taken a mark for Essendon inside defensive 50 with a big bandage on top of his head. It looks as though it's slid right up, so high must his wound be. He kicks out towards the wing, and by the time it slips off the hands of the pack, it is on the wing. Doherty for Carlton, off the outside of his boot, keeps it in play, and off the hands of a contest, it slides over the line. Just Carlton's side of the southern wing. Oh, it's getting dark, it's raining.
Tim, Sam Doherty for Southern Star Group, Windows and Doors built, most marks with 8 on the ground.
Carlton by 10 points. Cruiser getting better as the day wears on. Goddard for Essendon, they got it to Stanton. Couldn't get any purchase on the kick. Gibbs been excellent for the Blues over the ball here. The Bombers wanted holding the ball. Umpire Fisher takes pity on the man over the top of it, comes in and will ball it up. Still just Carlton's side of the southern wing.
The Bombers haven't scored since the 17-minute mark of the third quarter for Southern Star Group. Windows and Doors built. Tone?
Yeah, as Heppel wins maybe 15 metres, but it's on the wing. The conditions becoming gloomier, if that's possible. Essendon, after 12 minutes final quarter, still remain at 6-4-40. Only goal, in fact the only score, is a goal to the Blues. Ed Curnow. It's a 10-point margin in favour of the Blues. As again the players just crash and bash in. I think more importantly, Richo, 12 minutes to go. We've only played 12. So you're going to have to find a couple of goals, and it's going to be difficult, the Bombers, in these conditions.
You can't see where it's going to come from. McDonald, Tip and Woody's their deepest forward at the moment.
Gibbs from the pack. Great handball into space. Palmer has it, lost it, brought to ground. He released the ball off the deck that time. Cripps well inside attacking 50. Who can come up with it? Gleeson, a toe poke off the ground, waiting at centre half forward. Rose got the ball, trying to finesse a pass. It's successful. Now Kerridge has got it. Oh, the man on the mark will be about 45 metres out. Slide angle cam to the city end, and it's 10 points before the Kerridge kick for Carlton.
Oh, it's going to test him this distance with a wet ball. He's had a bit of a shocker today, Sam Kerridge. but he can make it a very nice day if he can kick this goal and give his team a 16-point lead. 16 points in these conditions, Richo, it's almost game over,
It's
isn't
almost
it?
a 10-goal lead. I reckon this is almost a 10-goal lead if he kicks this.
It's going to take everything for Kerridge. He'll kick from just inside 50. He's made good contact, but he's pushed it way right. So distance was fine. It's out on the full. Back pocket right is Hurley to take the free kick. He's the one lurking in the area. 50-40 in favour of the Blues KFC scoreboard. Any issue with Brendan Goddard at the moment down there, Michael?
No, he's just getting a rub down. The rain's pretty much stopped, but I believe the damage is done.
So Heppel at half back. Can Essendon move it out on the northern side? Little kick off the deck that time by Gibbs. Surely not deliberate.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Umpire Flintstone, Tone.
Yep. So Essendon the play on quickly that time. Merritt the kick trying to find Zaharakis 30 up the ground on the wing broadcast side. 3RW 6PR Sunday football. Ball runs out of bounds.
Gee, some of Carlton's defenders have been good. Simpson, Doherty, I reckon Rowe's been really good today on Danaher. Simon White, Plowman, the defence has stood up.
Still time for the Bombers, there's no question about that, but they're not looking like it at the moment. One goal could change everything. They've got the ball on the wing, but they haven't got it now. It's under a pack. A lot of activity and the ball not coming out. There'll be a ball up.
Matthew, I know a hero may emerge in the last 15 minutes, but for Vic Supers, hand on heart, who do you think's best to field in tough conditions?
Oh, I think the skipper, Mark Murphy or Bryce Gibbs. You could toss a coin there, but I've loved Plowman today on Fantasia.
Yeah, I'm with you, Richo. Their skills have stood out in these difficult conditions. The ball on the wing. The Bombers through Collier, paddling it but losing control. Murphy again outstanding. Little kick forward for the Blues. Goddard a shovel to Merritt, who barrels it. Got a nice torpedo curl on it. Up towards half forward. Ball comes loose. That's good for Essendon. Parrish a hand pass to Stanton. Got out of one tackle. Cruiser got him though as he kicked. The ball fell short. And White, who's been very good down the back, is in the right posse for the Blues and takes the mark.
That was their best forward thrust in this quarter. Essendon held up though by White to the wing. It's a 10-point margin. It comes off hands and the ball goes out of bounds. 6:14.50 Carlton, Essendon 6:4.40. As we said, we're going to full coverage from the Gold Coast. Shane, let's take a score around the grounds for Aquila.
4 goals to 1 goal 3 in favour of the Suns in this second term, Tone. It has the Suns leading by 21 points.
There's a ruck infringement. Which way's it going?
Big minute here from Cruiser. He laid the tackle, then he big spoil out of bounds and now stood up in that ruck contest and drew the free kick. Well done by the big fella.
10-point margin to Carlton. 16 minutes final quarter. And Cruiser's kick, Tim, lands at half forward for the Blues.
Yeah, territory important in these conditions, but he hasn't placed it well, and Watson takes a comfortable mark on his chest. Clear of the defensive 50 for the Bombers. Can't see anything he likes. He goes towards Collier on the wing. From behind, though, Williamson been good on debut. Made the spoil neatly. Now it's with Murphy, whose kick along the boundary line wobbles over the line, out on the full. Free kick to Essendon at half back once the Carlton supporter in the crowd gets his hand pass off. He's delaying things just to make sure that the Blues have the Bombers well manned up.
1-4 seconds then for the Blues. 8:58 to run. Ray White countdown clock. Carlton by 10 points. They're going to go forward again. Williamson, nice kick. He just pulled a little bit off it and finds Pickett on a lead between wing and half forward on the northern side. Pickett's high kick goes near enough to the forward pocket. Essendon though, just Hurley. It's 2 thrusts forward that time, Richo. They've misplaced the kicks and Essendon have been able to take easy marks in defence.
They're just keeping the minute, aren't they? They're just giving Essendon a slight opportunity. Joe Watson is the one that's died out of the game for the Bombers in the second half. Only had 7 disposals in the second half.
Bombers through Stanton want to go to the southern side. The kick's effective from Stanton, sliding across the turf. It is Bagley taking it outside defensive 50 for the Bombers, but it's a long, long way home to the punt road end as Carlton 50 leads by 10 points over Essendon 40.
Kick towards the wing. Plowman arrives with a big fist, which is good for Carlton. Gained 30 metres. Weitering over the ball. Watson, though, pinched it off him. And now the Bombers almost escape. McDonald, Tippenwoody got it onto Fantasia, who bombs it into the front half, and there's no one home. Doherty can get there, keep it in play. He's got time to atone for a fumble. Bang it back whence it came, straight to Leuenberger though, and the Bombers now can build an attack. A hand pass to Goddard, a carefully placed ball to Heppel, lost it off his chest though. There's still a chance. Watson knocks it on, but straight to Carlton's row, who fumbled. Let Watson and Fantasia back in. Fantasia goes for goal and hit the back of the post.
It did.
It was actually through the opening, but it touched the back of the post. It's a minor score. Carlton lead by 9 points.
Wouldn't that have made it interesting?
Wouldn't there have been a bit of RD from Orazio then? As Simpson kicks to himself, gets it beyond defensive 50. That is a magnificent kick as Bryce Gibbs has the football. 7 minutes to go. They lead by 9 points. Murphy on the outer wing dropped what he should have taken. Goddard drawn to the contest. I reckon he's got hold of him at the moment as the ball goes backwards to White. Has to kick it hurriedly. All Essendon, middle of the ground. Gleeson comes through. He torpedoes one into attacking 50. Rowe's got to get back, go straight to the boundary line. How does the umpire see it? Throw it in. Half forward right, 48 metres. He has indeed. 6:14.50 Carlton. Essendon 6:5.41. Quick score, Shane, before the throw in.
Shane.
Or not.
Shane might be out there getting a kick. Throw in, Leuenberger down to Goddard, has to kick it laterally, it'll land 30 metres in front of Essendon's goal, off hands, big ball, Doherty had it, lost it, McDonald, Tippengoody's got it, sold Candy, hooked with the left foot, just got too much curl and missed.
They're starting to press though.
Oh, yeah.
They're starting to press. They've had the last 3 or 4 inside 50s. Haven't been able to convert.
Margin 8 points with, 6.5 to go, turn on the Ray White countdown clock.
Can the Blues hold on?
Well, Simpson kicks to himself. Thank you for bringing it out to the broadcast wing. In front, Thomas. Ball knocked out of bounds by Essendon's Langford. Shane will go around the grounds this time, please, up to the Gold Coast. Full coverage when we finish here.
4-goal lead to the Suns, Tone. 7-6-48. Hawthorn 3-6-24. Closing in on half-time here at Metricon.
Essendon have it at their half-forward, 55 out, punt road end. Carlton leads by 8 points. Ball's tossed in. Carries the pack. Bryce Gibbs comes through. Cruiser a little kick away, wins 25 metres. Gleeson dispossessed. Half-back win to Petreski-Seaton. Slews off the side of the boot. He wins 15 metres. Kerridge 5 metres, then 10 metres. And it's unbelievably come off. He kicked it off the deck. Bounced off a Carlton player's boot. Goes out on the full. Free kick, Zach Merritt for Essendon on the members' wing.
Merritt's kick is good to Heppel, who marks 65 out on the edge of the corridor. He kicks straight across ground. Kelly coming up from the back half. Marks between centre and centre half forward. He slots a little pass to Parrish, who dropped it. Picks it up, gives to Ambrose. Kick doesn't cover much territory. The Blues close in. Fantasia's got it, but he's dispossessed. Clever row. A little dab to Palmer. Now to Williamson. Gee, I've liked his game. Back to Palmer. Cool sidestep. Gains territory with a long ball over the wing. First man there, Hurley. Hemmed in by Wiedering. An underground hand pass to Bagley. He's corralled. He hand passes over the top of trouble. And now the Bombers are away through McGrath. From the wing, he drives them forward. Up towards the 50. No one can mark. Collected though by McCready for the Blues. He feeds by hand to Thomas. A high ball lands in the lap of Patrick Cripps.
5:11 to go in the game. Carlton by 8 points. Ray White countdown clock. It's 50-42. The Blues lead. Cripps goes wide, close to the boundary line and goes out of bounds. 6:14.50 the Blues, 6:42 the Bombers. KFC scoreboard final quarter action. St Kilda by 31 earlier today. As Shane McGuinness has told us, the Gold Coast, they're on today. They lead by 25 points. We will be going for ball-by-ball coverage after half-time here. But the Blues, they're not trying to hang on. They're trying to win it. And they lead at the moment by 8 points. Front of the pack, Hocking has it, pursued by Murphy, trips and goes out of bounds. And from then, can we get another throw in? But at least this time it's in Carlton's attacking half at the City end.
Yeah, Carlton have set a couple of numbers back. Rowe's about a kick from this stoppage, and then it looks like it's Cade Simpson's probably 2 kicks from this stoppage. So trying to protect it, fair enough this late in the quarter.
Leuenberger the better of it in ruck. Hocking Sockers gains 20 metres, covered by Williamson, and the boundary is there as his boon companion, and he takes it over. Well, he doesn't take it over, but it bounced off his hands and went over, and there'll be a throw in. Still pretty much on the southern wing.
And Essendon have just organised it so they've got even numbers now. Carlton try and send another one back. So it outnumbered Forward line now for the Bombers.
Good tap, Leuenberger to the back, almost released. Heppel, he was covered though by the Blues, and it's Carlton's footy now. Cripps puts them into attack, and Wiedering marks it between centre and half forward. Quick movement here, and a goal, and they would have the match won. Here's Casbolt, can't mark. Gibbs has got it on the spill, swings it around the corner. It wobbles across the goal front, out to the boundary line and over for a throw-in. Left forward pocket, the Blues by 8 points, and they have it at the right end of the ground.
Great contest by Big Levi. Hasn't had big numbers today by any stretch of the imagination, but he's put himself in so many marking contests and brought it to ground. Only 5 touches, but probably been in 30 marking contests.
Carlton deep into attack. Essendon to hold up. Curnow front of the pack, a left foot snap. It's going across the face of goal. One behind. Makes it a 9-point game. 6-15, 51 the Blues. 6-6, 42 the Bombers. With 4 minutes exactly to run on the Ray White countdown clock. Daniel Ricciardo, much better Chinese Grand Prix finishes in 4th position. And at the moment, the Suns lead Hawthorn Tim by 25 points.
Long ball, Kelly, after playing on at the kick-in, clears the 50. White for Carlton, has it near the boundary, takes it over. Throw in. Now, that is more deliberate than many of the things that we see penalised.
With Lewis Hamilton winning that Chinese GP too, Tim.
And repeating that Nick Kyrgios won the 4th rubber to ensure that Australia progressed to the semi-finals of the Davis Cup. Leuenberger, lovely knock to the back to Heppel, couldn't break. Cruz has got it for cut. Oh, Heppel, that was a kick in danger, surely, as he had a swing in a pack. Umpire says no, ball stays stuck inside, and now there'll be a ball up just Carlton's side of the centre line, and time is ebbing away now for the Bombers. 3.5 minutes left, they need 2 goals.
Mick Warner, do you there go down to the Carlton rooms, or do you still want to wait? You've gone down.
I think he's headed down.
All right, at half-back the win for Hocking. High kick only travels a couple of metres. Getting back, Cripps tries to knock the ball to the boundary line. Goddard there. Win that time. Travis Collier goes forward, but Marchbank in the way at half-back for the Blues takes it. 9-point margin to the Blues, 51-42. 3:21 to run.
This is going long down the line.
Yeah, a lot of finger pointing. Tim as Marchbank kicks it to wing half forward. Carlton into attack.
Cruiser there, Casbolt there. Neither could mark. Front and square, Thomas to Murphy to White. Quick kick forward, almost a Casbolt. Oh, nasty one there as coming down the ground. Palmer had an air swing. I reckon he might have hurt himself. He could have kicked somebody's head off the way he went after that. Carlton's ball back in midfield. Cleverly worked to Curnow. Couldn't collect it cleanly. Bombers ball now. Collier, a little hand pass for Heppel. Well met. Solidly, fairly by Plowman. Ball kept alive by the Bombers. Not for long though. There'll be a throw in between wing and half forward for Essendon.
This is where you don't want to give away a free, boys.
Yeah, Carlton just scrapping with Danaher there, but all is okay. Sanity prevails. Throw in between wing and half forward for the Dons, but a long way from home in these difficult conditions.
Carlton by 9 points, KFC scoreboard. Here's their best chance. Goddard back of the pack can go long for the Bombers. Doherty's just waiting for it. Sometimes there are players that give you comfort. Carlton fans must love Sam Doherty.
He just reads the play beautifully at half-back, and he's normally a great user with foot.
2:23 to go. It is Carlton by 9 points. Ball back on the wing. Cripps over it. Lost it. Gurno. They're trying to get to the boundary line. Hocking. It's on the deck. Little one that time then to Parrish. Ball ricochets back to Cruiser. Wins 15 metres. Ball on the wing. Off the deck that time, Daisy Thomas. Middle of the ground. It's going to be a win to Hurley if he can bend over and pick it up. He does. Sidesteps one. Handball to the middle of the ground. Oh, McGrath had it and lost it for the Bombers. He picks it up, can go wide. And Kelly's now got the ball for the Bombers.
He sees a very crowded front half and arriving Doherty, your man Tone. Knocks it clear for the Blues. Follows up his work. Puts a hand pass out in front of himself for Kerridge. He works it on to Gibbs, forward of the wing. An over the head hand pass. The Bombers saw it coming, but Carlton still a chance. Wiedering trying to prize it away from McDonald, Tippingwoody. They work it wide, and wide is good.
A minute 28 to go on the Ray White countdown clock, Cam. Carlton have it at the right end and they lead by 9 points.
Oh, and you think they've got it now. It's just been so hard to kick a goal. Carlton have got 2, maybe even 3 behind behind the ball. It's going to be hard to score from here for the Bombers.
They deserve to win. They've been by far the better team today, Carlton.
Cruiser the tap, Curnow first to react. Handball to Murphy, the magnificent today. A little runner forward to right. Here's a chance for Cruiser, receives a handball. Runs to 45. Is this the dagger blow this time? Oh. Went across the goals. Silvani, it bounced off his lovely ribbed chest rather than the bread basket. But he couldn't control it. Forward pocket right. City end. The Blues into attack. 1:04 to go. This is their chance. KFC scoreboard. Carlton by 9 points. And the Blues have it at the right end of the ground.
Tissot time clock was showing again a moment ago. It looks as though some sort of agreement there to permit that as from the throw in. There's a tight pack. There'll be a ball up. 20 out from Carlton's goal. And we're into the last minute. And surely the Blues have the game. 9 points up. From the ball up, Cruiser and Leuenberger. Bombers control it. Soccer it clear. There is a kick in danger and a Carlton free kick.
Yep.
Now that came out of nowhere.
Heppelon Kerridge, I think it is, Tim.
I'll tell you what, I saw a lot worse a couple of minutes earlier. Not paid, but it's a Carlton free kick to Gibbs, is it?
I thought it might have been Kerridge.
And it is Kerridge, and he's going to line them up with the man on the mark. Straight in front of goal. He's standing inside 30 metres. And with the seconds counting down, Carlton with the match won. Not sure whether Kerridge realises that the pressure is now right off. But he can give Carlton fans something to celebrate a few seconds before the siren. He comes in and he puts it through. And the Blues have it well and truly now. They have a 15-point lead. Carlton 7-15-57. Essendon 6-6-42 on the KFC scoreboard.
And every Carlton player is going down into the defensive 50. It's one anyway, but they're going back just to make sure.
We're covering the game ball by ball after half-time. Shane, we've got half-time there at the moment.
26-point lead to the Suns. Tone 7-8-50. Hawthorn 3-6-24.
The Blues have kicked the only 2 goals of this final quarter. And they have it. 15-point lead is actually substantial, not just in terms of something to protect, but it is quite a gap between the teams. They've been much better in the conditions. Cruiser and Leuenberger in ruck. Gibbs comes crashing in. Gave to Cripps. His kick smothered. But still a chance for Carlton to work it clear. Kerridge can't get a hand pass out. It matters not. Siren sounds. The Blues down the arch enemy. Carlton score their first win of the season by 15 points over the Bombers on a sodden MCG.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team old Carlton knows. We're all the champions they like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
It is a very sweet victory for Carlton. Players, fans, coaches, everyone who cares about the Navy Blue. Their first win of the season. They've had trouble kicking goals for the last couple of years, but on a day like this, that didn't matter so much. They did all the attacking, as the scoreline shows it. 7-15-57 to 6-6-42. The only multiple goal kicker of the day was Carlton skipper Mark Murphy with a couple. There were 48,022 here.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old